What is up? Uh, so, I was just about to do another fight breakdown, fight score, and I just wanted to make a quick video. Well, I don't know how quick it'll be, honestly, uh, but a quick video of how I will actually be awarding points in these fights. So I wrote it down, which is more than the UFC has. It's the UFC 10 point must per round system is stupid as fuck and should definitely be changed because it really doesn't capture the whole nuance that happens in an MMA fight between the two disciplines of striking and grappling, right? So let's just get right into it. Hopefully you can see everything. Fighter score point system. I'll just read it, I guess, because I don't think you can see it very well. So, uh, exactly what I just said. Uh, I'm calling this the fighter score point system. The fighter, in terms of the rules, obviously in a real fight, they're both fighters, but uh, for the sake of the definitions, I needed a delineation. So the fighter, when I'm speaking about in the fighter in these definitions is the person that's scoring, and the opponent is the person that is being scored on, right? So fighter is the one scoring, the opponent is the one being scored on, just for the sake of the definition in this score system. So let's start with takedowns, TD for short. When fighter controls the opponent so that his knees are on the canvas, and the fighter must have a dominant position or a position with advantage. 2 points awarded for takedowns. Now strikes, when fighter makes contact with the opponent with any limb except the head. 1 point. Significant strike, when fighter strikes the opponent and inflicts visible damage, i.e. cut, bruise, or head whiplash, etc. 2 points. So like what I mean by head whiplash is like if you get punched in the face and then your head whips back, that's a significant strike. But if you get punched in the face and you roll with it and then your head goes back, and you're still in the fight and you're like, uh, you didn't have any lapse of judgment, that would be only a strike. So 1 point versus 2 points here. Now back to the grappling side of things for a little bit. Takedown defense, when a fighter stops the opponent's takedown attempt. Pretty straightforward, only awarding 1 point for that. Now takedown reversal, when fighter stops the opponent's takedown attempt and then takes down the opponent. So basically like someone shoots in on you, you hit it over under, and then you hit a nice hip toss, and now you're in a dominant side position. That's a takedown reversal, and I'm awarding 3 points for a takedown reversal. And now, say you just got taken down, you're on your back in full guard, let's say. This is when a reversal comes into play. When a fighter is in a less advantageous position, like I said, you're on your back in full guard, that would be a less advantageous position. And then the fighter controls the opponent, keyword, controls the opponent to an advantageous position. So if like both fighters just slip and then you wind up on top, I'm not going to award a reversal for that. But if you hit an omoplata or like a butterfly guard and you completely flip the guy over, fuck yeah, I'm awarding 2 points for that reversal. Now on to the next. Pretty simple. This one is pretty simple. It's called forward pressure. The fighter forces the opponent backwards by marching forward and gaining cage control. Now, there is one caveat to this thing. Must be without incurring damage. So if you're just walking forward and the other opponent's or the other opponent is hitting you, piecing you up, 3-piece combo, 4-piece combo, and he's tactfully giving ground so that you walk into his strikes, I'm not awarding points for forward pressure. But if you're forcing the fighter back because you just pieced him up in the pocket in the middle of the cage and now he's retreating and you're walking forward, I'm giving you a point for that. See what I mean? And on to the next, dominant grappling. When fighter grapples the opponent successfully Points awarded on the level of control fighter portrays over the opponent. 2 to 4 points. So this is where it gets a little bit subjective on the judge's part. But basically, if I hit a single leg takedown, right, and I hold you onto the ground, but you're still moving around, you're still, I'm in your guard, you know, you still are defending yourself, I'm only giving 2 points for the dominant grappling on the ground, not the takedown. So that would be 4 points in total in that exchange, right? But if you take him down and then you're in side guard and you pass to full guard and you're holding him in full guard, you're landing strikes on top, okay, that's a different level of control. The fighter has no, or the opponent has no chance of fighting back. And you emit, or you show, or you portray total control of the other fighter. Like the biggest thing in mind, like that I think of is like just a normal like grappler takes you down and it sits in your guard. Okay, maybe I'll give dominant grappling. Okay, maybe you pass guard. Okay, good job. That's dominant grappling. I'm only awarding 2 points for that. But like your Khabib versus Conor, when Khabib took down Conor and then sat on his legs and then Conor couldn't do anything, like Conor literally just sat there for the rest of the round while Khabib beat the fuck out of him. Yeah, that's 4 points for dominant grappling, right? So that's where like I feel there needs to be a little bit of leeway in this, and this directly plays into the counterpart to grappling, dominant striking. When fighter strikes the opponent successfully, points awarded on the level of damage the fighter gives to the opponent. So this is like even more so than a significant strike. Say like you just hit him 15 times, maybe 2 of those are significant strikes, right? And the rest are 1 point strikes. I'm still giving you four extra points for that. You just hit him 15 times unanswered, you know? That's impressive. But maybe you hit a really good counter. Like the guy's coming at you, he throws like a 2-piece and you hit a really nice right hand counter. You don't drop him. It's a significant strike, but it completely changes the sway of the fight. That's going to be dominant striking, but only 2 points because it didn't necessarily win the fight. So there's some leeway to this. Like if you hit a head kick, that's going to be 4 points. Like that's dominant striking. But if you but if you do something lesser, maybe you hit him with a right cross counter or something like that, that's going to be good. And this also plays into it's really just the level of damage done to the fighter, which will determine how many points are awarded. And then into knock down, because I see this so many times. Like you'll be like Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson. It's like Justin Gaethje didn't get that many knockdowns versus Ferguson, but Gaethje was showing dominant striking that whole fight, you know. So he probably would have got like 2 or 4, like probably 4 points some point in that fight for dominant striking, right? And this goes into like basically dominant striking is there for like when you piece him up and you fuck him up, but the dude doesn't fall down somehow, you're still gonna get some points for that, right? Now into the next term, knockdown, when the fighter strikes the opponent and the opponent falls down. The cause of the opponent fall must be from the strike. So basically the opponent can't slip, and I'm not going to award that a knockdown. So I'm giving that knockdowns 4 points, no delineation. If you knock the dude down with your strikes, you deserve 4 points, right? Now, submission attempt. When fighter attempts a submission and controls the opponent. So if you're just like, if you like throw a guillotine, I'm not awarding points. Or like if you throw a guillotine and the dude slips out after taking you down, I'm not awarding you a submission attempt points for that. You must control the opponent. But if you like throw the guillotine and now the dude's like struggling to get out and you almost get it, okay, that's a submission attempt. And this plays into the next thing. Say if that opponent you're holding that guillotine, you're cranking the guillotine. That's where this next term comes into play. I would call that a submission attempt near fall. When fighter holds a submission attempt while the opponent is in jeopardy for 15 seconds or more. I don't really know where to draw the line. Like near falls are kind of weird in wrestling, so it's basically anything over 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure, something like that. Or in wrestling, it's if you have like only one shoulder on the mat, that's a near fall, and they award a bunch of points. So, but if you hold this submission attempt for 15 seconds, so if that guy is in your guillotine and you're cranking that guillotine, right? You're cranking the guillotine and you hold that for 15 seconds, I'm awarding you 4 points just like a knockdown. So that would be the grappling equivalent of a knockdown, right? And then to just like really fill in the gaps of this point system, there's something called moments. High impact moments in a fight that either positively or negatively affect the fighter's score. So a positive effect on the score would be like any of the things I just mentioned, right? Like significant strikes or fucking, what's it called? Submission attempts, near falls, all of that, takedown reversals, takedown defense. That would be positive points under the moments section. And then you would lose points as a fighter if you do any, like commit any penalties, like if you're grabbing the shorts, like in that Stephen Bonner fight, I subtracted a point for him because he was grabbing the shorts and he stopped a takedown. That's bitch shit. You're losing points for that, right? Or if you're grabbing the cage, eye poking, kick him in the nuts, all minus points, right? And the most important thing is points are reset between rounds. So this makes it so if you're like, it basically makes it so the fighter always has a chance if they make it into the next round. And they have a chance to win the round. And of course, it's fighting, so they have the chance to just win the fight and knock the motherfucker out. But yep, all of this is my idea on this day. I don't know, Dana White, just pay me, bro. Just pay me, bro. Like, I'm not asking for a lot, just a little bit of money. Or maybe a job. I'd like a job better than money, Dana. Let me be a fucking ref in the UFC. I'd love that shit, Dana. Come on, Dana. Let me be a ref in the UFC. I love that shit. I've been watching since 3. I've been a fucking wrestling, ref, like, all my life. I did football. I'm a fan of striking. I'm a fucking sponge, bro. I'll learn anything, Dana. Come on. This is a good rule set. This is how we need to score fights so that they aren't fucking bullshit 10-8, 10-9 rounds. Like, what the fuck is going on? This ain't boxing. Don't let our sport be ruined like they ruined boxing with the 10-8, 10-9 must system. I mean, it works for boxing. I'll grant it that. It works really well for boxing because there's so many rounds, right? So it's hard to score every point or every point in the fight. But MMA is such a different sport, and I think it needs its own defined rule set. And yeah, that's why I've been having this idea for a really long time. I finally put it into writing, and now I put it into a video. So hope y'all enjoyed. Support me at my store if you want. Yep, love y'all.